guess what? We're working on another Zenith. This is a 1942 model that needs a lot of help. These are famous for bad rubber wiring. So that's not going to be fun. In fact, I don't even know if I want to work on this, but I do need to do the cabinet while it's still nice out. So I guess that's why we're working on this. Anyway, we're going to start taking it apart. So here's the inside. Not really in terrible shape. Needs a little bit of cleaning, but other than that, it's pretty good for being, 90 years old. You can see that it uses a 6X5 rectifier. It looks like it uses a 6F6 audio tube, so that should sound nice. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 other tubes. So this will have an RF stage, so it'll perform well and sound nice. It does use Loctite tubes. These can be annoying. The pins you gotta clean, but other than that, not too bad. Antenna, good shape. This is the type with the essentially a Faraday cage around it, which is nice because it really blocks out a lot of the interference that you get. So this will be sensitive. 3-gang tuning capacitor, so that's nice. And probably lots of rubber wire, so we're going to find out in a few minutes. I got to take the front apart first. So here's the chassis from that radio, the 6S or whatever it is. We have a broken tube socket here. I tried to order one. I don't know how it's going to go. I've never done this before with the Loctite sockets. This radio's been worked on a little bit, but not a lot. You've got 2 capacitors, these 2 that have been changed. Other than that, it's all original. The broken socket is right there. You can see it's all destroyed. The tube got stuck in it, and the tube was actually broken, so, there's that. Fair bit of rubber wiring. These are pain because I had to change a bunch of wiring here, so I changed that. I put a sleeve over that. I should be able to shrink that down. Changed 2 electrolytics. Those are the 2 filters. There's another one there I have to change, which I don't have a real good place for, so that's going to be kind of weird. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. A few more paper there to change, and then we've got this side. The biggest repair on this is going to be the tube socket, and I've ordered that, but it's going to be here in weeks. It's probably going to take 3 weeks. The other thing, which I'm not sure if I've decided to do or not, but I may have to, is rewiring this tone control, and that's a pain. I've done that before on some of these, and they're really not easy. So we'll see how that goes. But the biggest thing is this tube socket, which is a real pain. I just don't understand how that broke. I want to show you a trick. When you're replacing these wires, I just replaced these 2 on the outside, right? But if you want to replace the ones on the inside, the easiest thing to do is solder the new wire to the end of the old wire and then pull the old wire out. It'll come right out. You'll be able to hook it up and you'll be done. We've only got 4 wires here, so this shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. I really don't like these wiring harnesses, but these sets have them, and I have unlimited time until this stupid tube socket comes in. So I might as well do something, and this needs to be done, so I'm doing it. So the next step is to replace the rotted rubber wiring on the IF cans. Now, I don't always do this. Sometimes I just leave it. But given that I have to access that tube socket, it just makes sense. And plus, I'm waiting for the part, so I got to have something to work on. So let me do that. I changed the wiring here. You can see I did not replace this brown wire because there's nothing wrong with it, so I change it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on. Okay, now we get to the scary part. This is the other IF coil, which is buried underneath other coils, which are, hair-thin wires that can easily be damaged. Anyway, we have to change this wiring. It's obviously bad. You can see the rubber's cracked in many places. And since we're replacing this tube socket anyway, it would be nice to have wiring that's good to connect to the new tube socket. Got a couple capacitors I can change as well while I'm down here. Now we have the other side to do. This one looks pretty straightforward. It's only 4 wires. Unfortunately, in this one we have to replace all of the wires because they're all bad. Okay, we're about to put everything back. I changed the wiring down here, and this is going to have to come out again probably because I'll have to do the tube socket, but at least I can put it back for now. So we're getting there. So we finally have all the capacitors changed, even the hard to reach ones down here and here and here. They have all been changed. This is kind of sketchy. It's not too floppy, but it's not great. There's just nowhere else to put it, and I don't want to cut this can open. I don't want to deal with that today. So it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. I've got one more wire. This silver wire, I can change that. In general, most of them have been either replaced or are in good shape. Yeah, I think we're doing all right here. Pretty soon, once I get the tube socket replaced, we'll be able to power it up and see what happens, see if it works. Hopefully it will. And there's not much else I can do. I basically rebuilt the whole thing. These resistors, I checked a couple. They were close. I'm hoping that there's no issues there. If there's a problem, I'll obviously go after them. Pretty happy with it so far. I do want to put a fuse in here. I'll probably do that actually next. I'll just go from here to here. Okay, I went ahead and I changed this tube socket. Now, it's not the best thing ever. It didn't quite fit. You can see the socket just was a little bit bigger in the hole, and I didn't have a step bit big enough to make that hole bigger, so we made it work. It doesn't have to look pretty as long as it works, right? So anyway, the next plan here is to power it up and see what happens. Okay, this is the underside of the tube socket. Doesn't look great, but it's been replaced. The next thing I have to do, I realized I forgot this capacitor here. That is a line bypass cap, and you know, they're not really critical, but except they can short and cause problems. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a fuse in. So here's the replacement. This is a safety cap, and then this fuse is going to go in place of this this black wire right here. So we'll do that. Okay, we've got a fuse in here, and we changed that capacitor across the line bypass. So that's done. So now we just have to see what happens. Okay, we're going to go ahead and power this up. Give it 30 volts. We're at 40 volts. Got the antenna connected. Oh yeah, here we go. Just let it go to 45. Yeah, it's going up. Yep. What are the chances it's going to work? What do you think? 50 volts. Not drawing much current. Let's go to 60. 65. Let's see what happens here with that. Oh, there. Okay. So, that's it. $90 volts. Huh? Needs a little cleaning, but I guess it's working.
It's going to be a mainly clear and warm night ahead, low down to 74 in the 60s, 60s in most suburbs. Tomorrow looks even a little hotter than today. The humidity will start to creep back up again, too. Both worse on the clouds, a high of 92. Actually, with the real field temperatures up a bit in the 90s in the afternoon. We do have an air quality alert for ground level ozone from 11 in the morning to 11 in the evening tomorrow. That includes the city of Long Island and some nearby suburbs.
Let's do some control cleaning, see if that helps it.
Would be a mortal leaf. The PK. Matter, and so it's possible, it's likely that there's no.
It's working.
We're still slow westbound from right off Tar G Street all the way on out. With ultra large capacity on the inside, returns up to 15% with no risk of market loss. Once again, shopping in store and all. Because I know that's what we did. I'm not sure there's anyone. Group of 10 or more and take advantage of our 20. 800-746-4300. It's easy and totally free. Do you need the divorce sale, estate sale, probate, or short sale? I can help you sell fast. Even if your house is an investment or primary residence, ugly, beat up, with non-paying tenants, squatters in need of major repair or in mint condition, I can sell any house wherever. 192 U.S. 11
The apartments outbound slowed you down. West Side Highway northbound from the 7th. An increase in organic search. Boundaries.
Getting some interference.
Afternoon showers tomorrow as well.
Right now we're looking at 8.
Fine cultural.
Do you ever wonder why you're feeling exhausted all day? Even?
Oh, yeah. At one of those way back in the day.
Of course,
yeah.
back when that thing was still open. I used to love those. Those were fun.
I mean,
So the
I was
Zenith is
make a call
basically
about,
done.
make a comment about the Yankees
Got
sending down
tone
Peraza.
controls.
I just wanted to ask, like, as a Mets fan, when you hear Yankees fans complaining to you and to the show, and generally, like,
Kinda cool.
does it piss you off? Like,
No.
what are you guys complaining about, or do you understand where we're at this point?
Complete and cements memories.
Sir, the question.
Toyota.com. Day ones could be strong. Night, my goodness. A woman found dead inside a car on East 1st Street in
worked
Brooklyn.
pretty well.
Not sure what happened to her, as there was no sign of police investigating.
Shortwave.
Firing off about the new charges against him tied to the classified docs investigation. We'll also introduce you to a man who keeps murderabilia, that keepsake items, that is, from murder
out,
scenes or from the
pretty
lives of
nicely.
alleged murderers.